We're live, back, week 4. Rockin' Bears, what do you think? Oh, it's been such a good season so far, Rock. How you been?
Oh, real excited. Week 4, let's get it on.
Week 4, starting this week 4, Thursday night, tonight, in about an hour. We have Jacksonville going to see Cincy. Cincy, minus 7.5, what do you think?
Well, Jacksonville's played 2 undefeated teams. They've had some bad luck. Cincy's 2-1. They could be 3-0. Of course, they lost to the buffoons, Chicago Bears, and they beat the Vikings. That should have flip-flopped. But 7 touchdowns for Burrow and 1 pick that's sacked 10 times because he's played the Bears and the Vikes. But I think that after spending $230 million in the last 2 years on their defense, Cincinnati's going to be hanging with Cleveland. Baltimore, I don't know, but Cincinnati's going to be there if they're going to win the night by at least 10.
All right, I agree. I think the defense is going to step up and keep Trevor scratching his head and not doing so hot in his rookie season. Burrow and Chase combo, I like it for 2 touchdowns tonight. Cincy by 10 or more. I like it. Moving on, Indianapolis going to Miami. I think Indianapolis is one of a little bit of an underrated 0-3 team. Miami's -2 at home. Rock, what do you think?
Wentz has put up some yards. Miami, I don't have a thought about this game. I would take the home team. Miami.
Home team?
Yeah.
Not so fast, my friend. Indianapolis has more points per game, more yards per game, fewer yards allowed, better in the red zone, better at kicking, and better in penalties.
All right.
So everything says Indy, money line, upset. They're due. They're due.
All right, come on then.
All right, the next game, Houston going to Buffalo. 16 points here at Buffalo. That has me kind of scratching my head. Rock, what do you think?
Well, Buffalo's obviously going to win the game. Duh. Will they cover 16.5? If you gave me 100 and said you got to bet it, I'd take Buffalo.
You take Buffalo?
But I'd stay away from the game.
All right, I actually disagree. I think Buffalo is going to relax after a bunch of convincing victories. I think they're going to win by 10 or 14, but I don't like that. I don't like that third touchdown, that extra field goal they have to get. 16. I'm taking the points for Houston,
right.
But Buffalo to win by 2 scores.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Carolina going to Dallas. Dallas riding high after last week. -4.5 at home. Rock, what do you think?
I think this. It's good for the Cowboys that McCaffrey's not playing.
Yes.
He's 40% of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Cowboys, which we'll talk about later, have probably the best offensive coordinator so far. Kellen Moore's been doing great. Should have beat Tampa. And they've got Dan Quinn. Two guys are still out.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback isn't going to have for Carolina. They don't have McCaffrey. So what are they going to do? Cowboys by 20.
Again.
I said that last week.
And he got it. He down to the head. I agree. Carolina, without McCaffrey, without their new rookie cornerback Horn, they have a lot of missing pieces. I think Dallas is going to win this. They have too many tools.
Yeah.
They're going to go ahead and they're going to get the W at home by a touchdown.
2 running backs, lots of receivers. Who's this new guy? Schultz.
Pollard's questionable.
He's not new, but we didn't see much of that last year. But
he definitely had
Schultz looked great.
He's had a breakthrough
like
year. Yeah, number one fantasy tight end last week.
And we're going to get to the playoffs, but we'll talk about that next game, boss.
All right, Tennessee going to the Jets. The Jets 7, getting 7. That's kind of an insult to me. I think Tennessee by 14. Rock, what do you think?
Well, the Jets, they're kind of overdue, aren't they? Tennessee's playing well. Oh, by the way, hurricane coming, not to the land. The eastern seaboard winds will be 60 miles an hour. So you could bet Henry's gonna be called on. Can the Jets score? Do I take Tennessee with 7? I take them to win, but I would think that I'd flip a coin. But I would take Tennessee if you force me to bet.
My prediction, if we're making predictions, 28-7.
All right, let's go, man.
All right, moving on.
The big one.
The afternoon games. Still the morning games. Cleveland going to Minnesota. Cleveland Browns, Minnesota +2 at home. Rock, what do you think?
Well, this is good. This is going to tell us a lot. You got Kirk Cousins, Thielen, Dalvin Cook. This is a good defense also. The Vikings could easily be 3-0. They could. Now, Cleveland, Odell is going to play. Landry's still out. They got that good defense. They're coming off a 9-sack performance over the Bears. Will they protect Cousins? Probably. Cleveland's going to win that game and by a field goal.
All right, so you think Cleveland's going to win by a field goal
Yes,
on the
sir.
road and to cover the two?
Yes, sir.
I disagree. I think Minnesota their losses have been close games, hard fought games.
Agreed.
They have a top 10 offense in most stats, and they don't give the ball away. Only 2 turnovers so far in 4 games. So if they can keep the ball in their possession, manage the game, Dalvin Cook on the ground, I like them to actually get the upset at home. Money line. I don't need the 2 points. Win. Win. All right, baby.
All right, then.
Moving
Okay.
on. Washington. They're going to Atlanta. This game, we'll see. Washington's kind of been a disappointment. So is Atlanta. Atlanta at home, I think, getting a point and a half. Rock, what do you think?
I don't think much of Washington. Atlanta's due to win their home. I'll take them getting 1.5.
Yeah, they just beat the Giants, and Washington played the Giants close and gave up a lot more points than Atlanta did against the Giants. So
Okay.
I think they're heating up at home. I like them. Money line again. I don't need the 1.5. So that's 2 in a row. 2 dogs in a row. Woof, woof, woof.
We sure hope you guys gamble because we don't.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefing their way over to the city of brotherly love. Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to be hurt in this game. Philly's getting 7 at home, Rock. What do you think?
Well, KC's coming off a loss, and they're 1-2, and they cannot afford to lose. Philly has these 3 new coaches. They're all young. They're all trying to get, jived. I don't know if the Cowboy defense was that good or they don't have an offensive line like the Bears. Hurts is running around, and he's going to keep running around, and they're going to run him right off the field and win by a couple touchdowns. Kansas City will.
Well, Kansas City, I agree. I think Kansas City needs to make a statement game. They are 0-3 against the spread. So they have not only are they 1-2, but they can't seem to cover even when they're a favorite. But I think this is a statement game. 2 touchdowns. Patty is back. Riding high. Let's move on. Detroit to the Bears. Lions are going to roar into Soldier Field. Chicago -3 at home. Rock, what do you think?
Well, I guess I say this. Goff hasn't really looked that bad. They lost by a 66-yard field goal against what we think is a pretty good Baltimore team.
Yeah.
Who faces Denver this week, undefeated. The Bears gave up 9 sacks. I don't think Detroit's defense is that good. Here's the thing about the Bears. Okay, they threw Justin Fields into a game that they never should have done. All the Bear fans want to see because Dalton was a bad pickup in the first place. There's a big question about Foles is still on the roster, and Justin's got a bad hand. He's got a bad knee. They got 2 old farts. I would go ahead and let Fields play if he's okay because it's Detroit. It's not Cleveland. Will the Bears cover? No, they're going to lose outright.
All right, I agree. I think Detroit on the road getting the upset victory in Soldier Field. They're going to roar over the Bears. The Bears, they just have a bad offense.
One more thing. We got a bad general manager in Chicago. We got a bad coach. We've got the McCaskey family. We've got tons of players have left that team that we know of. Austin Jeffries and on and on and on and on. Sell the team. Get the McCaskey family out of there. Bring the Bears back to the glory days.
No, you should buy them. Anyway, so
might have to have a big week this week.
Bad offense, average defense. I like Detroit.
Okay.
Moving on, the New York Giants going down to New Orleans. New Orleans, -7.5 at home. Rock. The Giants are 0-3 and a bunch of tough losses. What do you think?
Well, the Saints are an unpredictable team. Mm-hmm. You don't know if Jameis is going to play good and throw 2 touchdowns. Their defense has certainly looked good. I think that in that tough division, the Saints can't afford to lose. I guess they're going to win by 10. I'll take them covering.
All right, I agree. I think they're going to maybe finally click like they did in week 1 on offense. Because their offense has been, like you said, up and down. I think them at home field advantage defense gets them the W. All right, moving on. Afternoon games, a battle out west. The Cardinals flying into the Rams. Rams are -4.5 at home here. Rock, what do you think for this afternoon game?
Well, the Rams are coming off a pretty darn big win. I don't think Tampa won their first 2 home games and could have lost either one of them to the Bears or Cleveland. So beating them, I expected that win. I had them, by the way, and I think I had it. But I don't know how good Arizona is yet. This is a big test for them. Kyler is pretty elusive. He might be able to get away from Ramsey, or he's a defensive guy, backfield. Aaron Donald, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think they could catch him. I think the Rams by a little bit. I think Arizona's going to cover the 4.5.
All right, not so fast, my friend. The undefeated Arizona Cardinals are going to remain undefeated and upset the Rams.
Woo!
The Rams, they had a big week last week, and I think they kind of used up a lot of juice. And Arizona has a top-rated pass offense, and they're averaging 34 points a game. And the Rams, their defense is what we know to be good, but they're 25th against the pass. So I think there's going to be some gaps there, and Arizona's going to sneak a victory out.
Not so fast. My only thought there is, you're talking about the best coach in football.
McVay is good.
You're talking about the best coach in football.
25th ranked pass defense is 25th ranked defense.
Okay, let's go.
All right, see another battle out west. Seattle going to the Bay. San Francisco got embarrassed last time at home on their opener versus Rodgers. They came back, they made it interesting, but Rodgers stormed down the field and they go ahead and stole the game from San Francisco. San Francisco minus 2.5 against Seattle, who really needs a win. Rock, what do you think?
Well, that puts a great Packer win. Now here's what I think. We'll talk about the Packers when we get to their game. Seattle's 1-2. They kind of have to win. They gave up 546 yards versus Tennessee at home. Mm-hmm. San Francisco's going to run the ball. They got a good coach. They got a good defense. That's only 2.5. I think San Francisco wins by 10.
I agree. I think Seattle's defense needs a boost because they're not getting any help on defense. Russell needs some help, and he's not getting it. And he can't, throw 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. San Francisco, big at home. Bounce back game.
But when you think about the way Aaron Rodgers passed the long ball, remember Seattle's 2 big gun receivers. So I'll still take San Francisco, but I think I could be in for an upset there. That's why I'm covering my ass. Next game.
Sure. All right. Another team that kind of had me curious last week, Baltimore, barely squeaking by Detroit. Going to see Denver, who's 3-0 against the spread. They're looking great. They haven't had the biggest, toughest opponents, but -1 at home for a team that's hot. Rock, that has me questioning things. What do you think?
Well, this is gonna be a good game simply because Judy's out, the other receiver's out. You've got Lamar who fumbles. They're going to be going after that football. This is going to be a very, very good game. First one to 21 wins. Denver's beaten the Jets, Jacksonville, and the Giants, so they're 3-0. So big deal. Baltimore hasn't looked good against Detroit. They looked okay against Vegas. I'm going to take Denver by about this much.
Denver by about that much. I agree. Denver is -1. This is the number 1 rushing offense versus the number 2 running defense. So we'll see if Denver can stop the run, make Lamar beat him in the air, and I think Denver's going to get the win at Mile High. Baltimore has been running on opponents that haven't really had the best defensive record this year.
Okay.
So I like Denver to go 4-0. Moving on to the last afternoon game, Pittsburgh going to see Aaron in Green Bay. Green Bay -6.5 at home. Rock, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing about last week's game. Rodgers gained confidence in Lazar and Scantling. So he's got his big boy, Devontae, and he's got the other Aaron to hand the ball off to. This is a pretty good offense. Pittsburgh's floundering. They're over the hill. They lost at home to Cincinnati. You got to think that they're going to be angry. But guess what? Packers by 2 touchdowns.
Yep, I agree. I think Packers at home are going to win and cover. All right, Sunday Night Football. TB12 headed back to Foxborough. This game should be good. Everybody's picking Tampa. New England +7 home. Rock, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. Tampa Bay is, people have shown how you can beat them, throw the football. The thing is, can Jones do it being a rookie? And Tom Brady's got Antonio Brown back now, and Mike Evans, and of course Gronk. Tampa by 20.
Now, Gronk's questionable, which I think might play a factor in the game, but I like Tampa to win, and I don't think New England's defense can stop them when they're really fired up on a Sunday night.
Especially after a loss last week.
TV Tom. All right, the final game. Las Vegas Raiders, number 1 pass offense in the league. If Jacobs is back and healthy, they're facing the 32nd run defense in the Chargers. Chargers are -3 at home. Rock. Herbert with his hand. What do you think?
Oh, boy, this is a tough one. Nobody really knows how good Vegas is. And this will show. If Vegas can win this game, then the AFC West is going to be tough. They win, Denver wins. All of a sudden, you got 2 undefeated teams, which nobody expected. I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the rookie of the year last year, and I'm taking the Chargers.
All right, I got Las Vegas with the upset on the road. Another money line dog. Thanks for tuning in. Watch next week. Like and subscribe, guys.